Hey everyone, so today is St. Patty's Day, can't you tell? And this doggy is about to go outside today because he has been acting a fool all morning. I just came back from the Beaufort Farmers Market. If you have not been, it is amazing. Like, you have to go if you haven't. But St. Patrick's Day is the theme. And these are going to be our drinks of choice. But of course, I'm going to turn them green. And it's going to be ultra cool. Big bottle of Bailey's Irish cream and some Guinness Stouts. And we're also going to use some vodka later with some lime and some Sprite Ginger and some green food coloring and make another really cool drink. But what I'm about to cook today, and I'm running late, so I need to get started if we're ever going to eat today, corned beef brisket, of course. We're going to have green mashed potatoes, some fried egg with a little green, along with broccoli and Brussels sprouts. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful plate. So I'll be back in a bit because I need to deal with my dog. Be back shortly. Okay, so here we are. Again, pardon the hair, I had to pull it back. Last video I shot, I tried to be cute and leave it forward, but it just was nerve-wracking. So we're not going to do that again. So this is what we're about to get into right now. We have 2 corned beef briskets here. Alright. So I've marinated them. We're just going to put all that in there because the seasoning pack, the thing that a lot of people just use on top, is in there also. I'm going to put that in there. Throw the bag away. We'll move this one forward. Has space for its friend. You cook corned beef 50 minutes for every pound. So this is going to take quite a few hours to get done. I'm getting a late start. So my family's going to have a late dinner today. But just so you can see the marinade. See all those seasonings in there? I did not just keep this basic. I used quite a few herbs in mine because I wanted to have like some real pizzazz. There's even a little curry powder in there because I really want this to pop and have more in it. I'm also going to be adding some garlic, some fresh dill, some fresh fennel, and a few roughly chopped onions and peppers because I want this to be fabulous. We don't want no basic corned beef today. And so I'll be back in a little bit. But right now, this is my slow cook. But I am going to show you, like, you know, just me adding the rough chopped vegetables in here in just a few. All right. So what we are doing now is get ready to chop up some veggies to go in our dish. So like I said, I went to the farmer's market. The farmer's market here in it's in Dorville, but the Beaufort Farmer's Market has some of the largest, unique types of produce you can find anywhere. Look at the size of this delightful onion. We're not going to need that. We're going to need like roughly just a quarter of that. Let me untie this. So I got some bags, and later on today when I have time, I'll chop these down so they fit better in my freezer jar. But of course, so we have some leeks. Leeks probably won't be used on what I'm cooking today, but just showing you some of my stuff. Korean green onion. Also, probably won't be used today. See, that's why you gotta wash your stuff. Look at all the dirt in the bottom of the bag. With these root-based vegetables, you really, really, really gotta do a lot of cleaning. We do have some regular green onion for today, and I wanted something on the plate that's going to give sort of the look of four-leaf clover. Not really four-leaf clover, but this is a type of fresh parsley, which we'll add at the end to the dish just to give it that look. But we also have fresh dill. It smells just like pickles, and this is going to add like a lovely, lovely, lovely layer of flavor to that corned beef. So we're going to tuck these all back in this bag until I have a chance to chop them down later. You know what else I got at the farmer's market today? A large whole octopus and some other really good seafood and some huge, thick, fresh cut steaks. But the octopus, me finding that finally was everything because it's one of my favorite foods. I'm always able to find like the little baby octopus, but I wanted like the full size. So we're just gonna rough chop these things because they're mainly just going in there for flavor. After you chop them, you can put them in a bowl and just rinse them off a little bit. But I'm just showing you the chop. Smells so good. I love the smell of dill. One of these days I'm gonna get some cucumbers and I'm gonna make my own dill pickles for you guys. That'd be cool, right? To show y'all how to do that. I don't think I can get those back in there. Probably should have rethought that, but that's okay because we have this bag readily available. Alright. Now I've got the corned beef brisket in the slow roaster. Well, I've got 2 of them in there. And I forgot to tell you, I add a little vinegar to mine. You know, gotta have some vinegar in your corned beef. Within my ethnic group anyway. I'm sure other people are like, oh no, you don't put that in there. Well, we do. To us, it makes it taste better. What can you say? This is not the proper way to cut a pepper, but I was busy cooking. Not cooking, but talking just then. And did that wrong, but as long as you get the seeds and stuff out, hey. Because with green pepper, the seeds are where the bitter comes from. So try to get rid of those. And again, it's just a rough chop. Because they're just going in for flavor. That's literally the whole purpose of the green pepper in this at all. It's just flavor. It serves no other purpose. If you want a piece on your plate, you want to eat it, you can. But that's not why I'm putting it in there. We are only putting it in. And I love when they have like the little baby peppers in here and even the seeds, because you can actually just plant all this stuff and grow your own produce. I have not started doing that, but you can. My house is too small. And it's a shared, it's a triplex, so someone else would be eating my vegetables if I tried to grow them, so I'm just going to say no to that whole idea. But, okay. So we're going to put this back because there's still enough pepper on there to use in another dish if you want to. Save that. Get all the seeds off your board because, like I said, they make the food bitter. So we're just going to throw them away. It's a rainy St. Patrick's Day. But we're still trying to make the best of it here at the house. Try to make it a little fun, you know. We're going to have some green drinks and some green food. And again, this is just a rough chop. It's a seasoning flavor. I like to do things different. I know this is not the standard way people make their corned beef. I don't care about the standard way. Sauce's Best Trader very rarely does the standard way, unless someone asks me to. Now, if they just want the absolute most basic way of doing things, because that's what they prefer, and that's what they're used to when they're a paying customer, of course. But in my house, we like to zing it up a bit. It's boring being basic, isn't it? And doing what everybody else is doing. No fun in that. Alright. So again, just a rough chop. And I don't know why I'm doing that. That way they should be flat so it's stabilized. And just go on through there. Alright. You don't have to do much to them because again, they're just for flavor, not for anything else. And voila, you have your dill, your green peppers, your spring onion, and your white onion. And I'm going to rinse these off, and then I'm going to put them in the pot. And I'll show you one last final shot of what they look like. And then we're going to let this slow cook for about, it's going to be at least 7 hours. So it's going to be a while. So I'll be back in a bit. I got some work to do today while that's happening. And then I'll get started on my sides. I'll probably get started on my sides about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Probably 2 hours before I know that brisket's going to be done. And we'll be back then. All right. Okay, so something I forgot. I meant to put in my corned beef, but you know, I got tired and forgot. Fennel. I usually buy it all the way up to this thin, but fennel's just so beautiful. I already rinsed it, but I'm gonna run water through it one more time. So that after you cut it out, there's still more grit in there that you can get out, so always try to do that. Alright, and really, I'm not going to do much more than just rinse this other half. I'm going to put them right in the pot with the corned beef whole, just like they are. And another thing I forgot to put in, but that's fine because we got plenty of hours left on this corned beef. The other thing I forgot to put in were my whole carrots. I'm about to do that now. I'm so excited for y'all to see this plate once it's done tonight, because it's just going to be so creative and so cool, and I'm just like super proud of it. I can't wait to show y'all once it's all together. So, carefully, because this pot has gotten hot by now, we're just going to lay those in there. You can't see what I'm doing, so let me take you on a little walk with me here. And raise this up more so you can see better in there. And those items that are in the sink are not dirty items. They're actually rinsed off items that I just have not put anywhere as of yet. And that I'll probably end up using through this cooking experience also, which is why I didn't move them. Alright? So, you're going to put your carrots in. Yum, yum, yum. These are baby carrots. I started to get the really fresh, like, organic ones that still had, like, the beautiful stems on them. That's a beautiful way to go if you're absolutely plating a dish that you need, like, a pretty look to. Those carrots like that are so pretty. I'm probably just going to use about half the bag, because I'm just going to dig some of these out when we're plating, but they're not the main star, you know what I mean? In about another hour and a half, I'm going to come out and get my veggies going, my potatoes, my sauteed spinach with mushrooms, and my 3 large broccoli florets. And because this hopefully will be done around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So we got plenty of time. So I'm going to cover that up. Let it continue what it's doing. It was on 350. I'm going to turn it to 375. I have my timer set. I think I have about 4.5 more hours to go on this dish at the moment. So I'm going to go back in my room for a while. And in about another hour and a half, like I said, or so, I'm going to start boiling my potatoes to make my green mashed potatoes. So I'll see y'all guys in a bit. Alright guys, so I got a couple of poblanos split. Those will be for me. Nobody else is going to eat them. And Brussels sprouts. This pan is sprayed with Crisco butter spray. I also sprayed some on the vegetables. We've got paprika and some salt and some black pepper on them. I'm about to cover them up with foil and just let them kind of broil in the oven for a while till they're just nice and tender. We want a little crispiness, but we also want them like tender, especially Brussels sprouts. It just gives them a better flavor. So I'm about to wrap this up, get them all in the oven. Okay, everyone, so I think we all know, absolutely know, that most of the fun of St. Patty's Day, other than the good food that you coat your stomach with to deal with your drinking, is the drinking, right? So I'm going to open up some things, get some things going here. We got some new Sprite Ginger. It's a new flavor of Sprite. Can't wait to see how that is. And then we're also going to mix that with the mango pineapple Svedka Vodka. We're going to add a drop or two of green food coloring. We've got some Bailey's Irish Cream and a Guinness Stout. We're going to garnish a couple of these drinks with lime. Not all. Be a little crazy on all of them. So we're definitely going to garnish. And so, and that phone you hear going is the work phone. And so, what we're going to do right now is we're also going to garnish this with some cilantro. I got a little bit. It's also a really good way just to use some of your leftover veggies that otherwise won't get used in time before they go bad. You break off any parts that are kind of ugly. Get all the brown leaves out. You don't want to put that in anybody's drink. That's ugly. Cilantro, whether you know it or not, is commonly found in mojitos. Hopefully you're familiar with that. If not, I just taught you something. I don't like the look of that one, so we're not going to put that in anyone's drink. I'm just going through finding the remaining good pieces of my cilantro before I trash the cilantro itself. hardly enough. You're only dealing with 3 people, 3 drinks here. In fact, we're only dealing with 2 people's drinks here. All right, so get your handy dandy can opener, which also has a bottle opener on it, out. I need to buy a bartending kit. That's like one of the other things in my arsenal that I don't have yet. But let's get started. So we're going to start with the absolute most simple thing first. That would be the Guinness Stout. That's going to go in this glass because it doesn't need ice at all. Just a couple of drops of green. You don't need much food coloring at all. Just give it a pretty stir on top. Right on that foam. I want to show you how awesome that looks. Look at that, right? It's pretty and it's simple. That took no time and it's pretty. Your guests will love it. Next up, we're going to start with the Sprite Ginger Ale. Well, Sprite Ginger, as they're calling it. About there. It's about good. You can put as much in there as you like. I like a kind of a drink with some kick to it, though. I'm not trying to serve a weak drink. I'm going to open this. I like a half and half mixture personally, but again, not everybody wants their drinks that strong. So, a double shot, and I'd say that's about it. So, here we have our Guinness Stout with the foam topped with your green dye. And let me get a picture of that. I'll be right back before it ends. I'm back. Sorry. I needed to get a picture of the Guinness before it was no longer, before the foam dissolved. Because that's the only thing. It's a pretty presentation, but you don't want to put that green in there right to the person going to drink it. Just a couple of drops of green here. You're going to take your same mixing spoon and you're going to just do this. Like that. This is the one that you're going to garnish with just a little fresh cilantro also. And then on the side of it, I like my wheel sliced thick so it stays on the person's cup. We're going to do this. You can also give them just a little bit in there, and you can squeeze some in there also. So we're going to give it a little squeeze, put the rest in there. So we got the Guinness Stout with the green on top. We've got the Svedka Vodka mixed with the Sprite Ginger with a little dash of green food coloring. And then the very last one we're going to do, if we can get it open, Bailey's cream always gives me an issue, and it's my favorite, and it never wants me to open it. Got it. I like my Bailey's on ice. You don't have to drink yours that way. I'm going to pour me a nice good glass of Bailey's, just like that. The only thing we're doing with this one, again, is the food coloring. Lime and crap does not go with Bailey's. Please don't do that. Just a couple of splashes. Wipe your spoon again. Mix it up. And just like that, you have a beautiful St. Patrick's Day drink. So let me show you what we did. We've got the Guinness topped with green. We've got the Svedka Vodka Mango Pineapple mixed with Sprite Ginger with green food dye in it, cilantro and lime. And we've got the Bailey's Irish Cream on the rocks. Both of these two mixed drinks are on the rocks, also with a splash of green food color. Easy peasy, beautiful for your guests, just like that. So we're back, and real quick, we're getting our bread ready to go in the oven. This is going to be like so cool. So the first thing we're going to do is sprinkle a little black truffle salt on. Now, if you went to school with me, if any of you are watching back home, you know I'm quite the artist, right? watch what we're getting ready to do. It should be pretty cool if it goes the way I want it to. If it doesn't, well, it'll still be cute. It has some green. So, gently, we're just going to try to create as best we can. Not going to be perfect here. The shape of a shamrock into the bread. Again, not going to be perfect. Be better if I use my squeeze bottle, but I don't feel like going through all of that. So we're doing it this way. Little shamrock, right? It's not bad. It's not the worst. Could be better, but you know. So we're going to do a second one. I think a lot of younger people don't even know that food coloring exists. Like my grandmother used to use it to make our cakes a certain color. And use the yellow definitely for her chicken and dumplings. 2. Now I just spilled some on my board and I'm going to be so mad if it permanently dyes my board green. I want to be careful and see how much I'm still working with because I have other things to make. Although I have a second bottle, but I'm still just saying, you know. Shamrocks are nothing but heart-shaped leaves. So if you can make a heart, you can probably do this. My daughter said shamrocks, but if you look up St. Patrick's Day, they're called the clovers. They're called shamrocks. That's what they refer to them as. Irish people call them shamrocks.
I thought we called them 4-leaf clovers. The lucky ones are 4 leaves.
Yes, the lucky ones are 4 leaves. All right, and then just one more. And so when I toast these, I'm going to let it soak through because I'm not ready to toast yet. I got a couple more things to make. But in the meantime, like this has a good moment to really get in. This is the ugliest one of the 4. Let's see if we can make it look better. There we go. And there we go. So look at my hands. This is from making the drinks earlier. So I'm just going to set these out. I would fill them in, but I'm not trying to use all my stuff. But what you can do, one second. Although, honestly, I would probably suggest doing, I'm going to do it, but like, I feel like you could do this like after so that it doesn't over fry. But what I'll probably do is put some foil on top so that the spinach doesn't get hard and crunchy. But you can kind of just lay a leaf in the middle of all of them to fill in the green. And then I'm just going to spray it with some of this butter spray, this butter Crisco spray that I have. And when they go in the oven, they'll have foil on them. But just like that, you can add a little more green to them. And you can just give them a spray. I'm going to spray them ahead of time. This is nothing but butter. Won't hurt nothing, y'all. Just some butter. Spray butter. Great, right? And when we put them in the oven, we'll put some foil over them so that the spinach leaves don't mess up. And just like that, we got some pretty bread for St. Patrick's Day. Be back in a bit. Pause. Hey guys, so you see I've cut up some florets. We're going to leave them kind of big. And we're just going to throw them into a cast iron skillet, which I have heating up now. And we're going to brown these, leave them still a little crispy. And then the next thing we do after we get these done, we're just going to lay these, after I get them done, we're going to lay these in the same tray that the Brussels sprouts and the poblano peppers are in. Because then after that, I'm going to be sauteing some mushrooms and some spinach. So check back in a bit. So before I start plating, I just got to show you these. How beautiful are these green, as I'll call them, graffiti eggs? You can call them tie-dye. My daughter said they look tie-dye. But look how beautiful they turned out. These are going to go on the plate, of course. Of course. The first thing we're going to do in just a moment is go get this corned beef, and we're going to get ready to serve our St. Patrick's Day feast. Be back in a moment. Here we go. St. Patty's Day. My graffiti eggs with my shamrock toast, my braised broccoli, corned beef topped with spinach and mushrooms fresh parsley because it's the closest thing that looks like a shamrock I can put on the plate. Roasted Brussels sprouts. Bright green mashed potatoes. They taste like mashed potatoes even though they don't look like them. And carrots. Shamrock on your bread. That's it. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So as promised, here we go. Here's what it looks like, everything in the slow roaster getting ready to do its thing. This is going to take about 7 hours. So I'm about to start my timer now, and I'll keep checking on it as it cooks down.